The wind rolled across the open plains like a restless spirit that refused to die, carrying the scent of dust, leather, and the distant memory of rain. The ranch stretched wide beneath the bleeding colors of dusk, fences creaking, windmill turning lazy circles, and the stables echoing with the frustrated snorts of a wild stallion no man had yet been able to break. His name was Diablo, a magnificent black horse with fire in his eyes and fury in his heart. He had thrown 25 seasoned cowboys in the dirt, some limping away, others refusing to meet his gaze again. Each one had tried to ride him, and each one had failed. But the challenge was not just about taming a horse. It was about earning the respect of Clara Weston, the ranch owner's only daughter, a woman whose beauty and spirit burned brighter than the setting sun. Clara stood by the corral, her floral skirt dancing in the dry wind, her sharp eyes fixed on Diablo's every move. To her, the horse was more than an animal. He was the last living memory of her late father, the man who had taught her that true strength wasn't found in muscles or money but in patience, courage, and heart. When her father passed, she vowed that only the man who could truly understand Diablo's soul would win hers, and so the challenge began. For weeks, cowboys from neighboring towns rode in with swagger and stories, each promising to tame the beast and claim Clara's hand. But Diablo wanted none of them. He tossed them off as if their confidence were dust beneath his hooves. And Clara? She watched them all fall, her heart hardening a little more each time. That was until the 26th man rode into town, a quiet stranger named Luke Carson, a drifter whose face was tanned by sun and scarred by life, with eyes as blue as mountain rivers and a silence that spoke louder than any boast. He arrived without fanfare, his worn boots stirring the dust of the main street, his hat low over his brow. He didn't ask about prizes or promise victory. He simply asked to see the horse. Clara studied him with a mix of curiosity and disbelief. He wasn't like the others. There was no arrogance in his walk, no show in his stance. When he reached the corral, Diablo charged the fence, nostrils flaring, hooves pounding like thunder. Any sane man would have stepped back, but Luke didn't flinch. He just watched, calm and still, his voice quiet when he finally spoke. "You've been fighting too long. Haven't you, boy?" It wasn't a challenge, it was a conversation. The onlookers laughed, whispering that the drifter was another fool about to eat dust. But Clara felt something shift. There was a strange connection forming, something invisible yet undeniable, between man and beast and between Luke and herself. That night, as the ranch lights flickered like fireflies against the dark horizon, Luke slept near the corral, keeping Diablo company. Clara watched from her porch, arms wrapped around herself against the chill, wondering who this man really was and what ghost had driven him here. The next morning, he didn't reach for a saddle. He walked straight to Diablo with only a bridle in hand and patience in his step. The stallion stamped, snorted and reared, but Luke just waited, letting him dance his rage out under the rising sun. He didn't fight him, he understood him. Slowly, inch by inch, Diablo's breathing slowed, his wildness softened. Clara leaned forward, her breath caught in her throat. The other ranch hands went silent. When Luke finally placed a gentle hand on Diablo's neck, the stallion didn't bite or bolt. He lowered his head. It was as if two broken souls had found the same rhythm. "That's it," Luke whispered. "We don't tame what's wild, we earn its trust." For the first time in months, Clara smiled, but she also felt something dangerous blooming inside her. Hope. When Luke finally mounted Diablo, the horse didn't fight. The two moved as one, gliding across the open pasture like wind and shadow. The crowd erupted in disbelief, but Clara's eyes glistened with something deeper than pride. It was admiration. It was fear, because she knew this man wasn't just taming a horse, he was awakening something in her that she'd locked away long ago. As the sun dipped low and the cheers faded, Clara approached him. "You've done what no man could," she said softly, her voice trembling. Luke dismounted, tipping his hat, his eyes holding hers in the fading light. "Ma'am," he said, "sometimes it ain't about proving you're a man. Sometimes it's about listening when nobody else will." Those words struck deeper than he could have known. For the first time since her father's death, Clara's heart stirred with something like peace. But peace never lasts long on the frontier. From the ridge beyond the ranch, a dark figure watched them, Cole Maddox, a rival rancher who had his own claim on Clara's land and her future. His eyes burned with envy and anger, his hand tightening around the reins of his horse. He wasn't about to let some drifter steal what he thought was his. As the night fell and the first stars blinked awake, Clara found herself standing by the corral again, watching Luke brush down Diablo, whispering quiet words only the horse could hear. She didn't know if she was falling for the man, the miracle he performed, or the way he made her remember what it felt like to believe again, but she did know this. Something had changed forever on the Weston ranch, and when Luke looked up and met her gaze under the starlight, neither of them spoke. They didn't have to. The silence between them said everything. Little did they know, the coming dawn would bring fire, jealousy, and a test neither man nor beast was ready for. But for now the night was still, and the stars bore witness to a bond that would challenge every rule of the morning came painted in golden shadow, the kind of dawn that whispers, promises before the day decides whether to keep them or break them. The ranch was quiet except for the soft,